is Master Chief, Sierra 117, reporting from UNSC High Command. You're now tuned in to Immaculate Connection. Lock and load, and finish the fight. Chief out.
Real life callouts.
Real life callouts, hosted by Savant and Goodbarz. Hey, bro, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing today?
I'm good.
You good? You chilling? You got a sparkler and a mask on today. A little bit different.
I'm lighting it up.
You lighting it?
I'm gonna light it the up.
You gonna light it up today?
Well, the reason why I look like this today, if you're listening on the podcast, you might be confused.
Yes, please tune in.
The reason why I look like this today is because if you can't beat them, you got to join them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've come to realize from here on out. If you can't beat them, join them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here in the studio in the One Shot Network.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sparkler because I'm celebrating.
Yes.
I'm celebrating the release.
Yes.
Of Halo Infinite.
Yes.
I'm celebrating the re-energy of ICG.
Yes.
The turn of the new year.
As strong as ever.
A brand new chapter for our organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And a brand new chapter for our networks and our friends.
Definitely.
But definitely a celebration, nonetheless, that Halo
mm-hmm.
has been quote unquote released.
quote unquote.
Yes, that's why I have
question marks.
That's why I have the ski mask on.
Yeah, bro. Why do you have the ski mask on? Please explain to the people in the world why you have the
because
mask
Halo
on.
robbed us.
Halo robbed us.
But I'm not mad at them. That's why. And I'm just saying, I do love the game.
Yes.
I think the game. By the way, I want to make it perfectly clear. I think that Halo Infinite upon release is probably one of the most fantastic feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Off the platform, off the first, the first lunge.
Yeah,
I love the game.
The game was great.
Once again,
still is.
The gaming community has gotten a lot like Hollywood and the music industry, where we advertise these big blockbuster events. We advertise these complete products, and then of course.
Mm-hmm.
We have brand ambassadors. We have sponsorships. We have partnerships. We have a lot of economics.
Buying and selling. A lot of buying and selling.
Oh, man. But you're advertising this game as a full game.
Yes. They did. They promised a couple things.
They took the extra year to release the game, claiming that year was going to give them the tools
they needed
to release a full game. I realize that there's a lot of advertising partnerships and there's a lot of commitments regarding publishing digital material.
Yeah.
However, y'all still advertise to the fans. Y'all advertise the full game, and I don't think we got that.
No, I don't think Halo Infinite is.
Some people might really be surprised in my energy because I've been playing the game every day. I think that 343 has definitely landed some high scores.
Definitely.
And you know what I mean? But
Definitely.
when it comes to advertising this video game, they really dropped the ball and being dishonest about, having a launch.
Yeah. That they claimed that it was going to have.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking split screen.
Yep.
Co-op.
Mm-hmm.
I think the flight was great. I think
the flight was cool.
I think the beta was a lot of fun. But I feel like it's incomplete. And a lot of game developers, not just Halo, a lot of game developers are doing this thing now where they're going to release a piece of the game.
Uh-huh.
They're going to offer you parts and chunks of it that are free.
Yep.
That encourage you to participate in microtransactions, to participate and opt into promotionals, like the Rockstar promotionals and merchandising and buying a lot of products and creating a lot of consumer energy.
Definitely.
But I think this people expected, especially tried and true, faithful fans of the franchise really were hoping for a complete package on launch, especially the people that spent the money. I think
Definitely.
I think upon release, people expected traditional Halo features,
Yes.
like you know what I mean. Some of the audio is off to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But these are things you can fix. Over
a period of time,
the way
yeah.
that weapons behave and things like that. But some weapons, really, some key, real legendary weapons being missing.
Yeah.
Upon launch, again, they could bring those in later. But things they can't improve on is like launching it, because it's already been launched, and you launched the game incomplete. People nowadays, I think most developers understand that people play video games to connect with each other. That's a big part of the market. With Halo being such a big multiplayer attraction, I think releasing a campaign after advertising split screen, and not having that is a major. I know guys right now that won't play the campaign because there's no co-op. Because there's no split screen. I tend to side with some of them. I'm really loving the multiplayer. Again, but a bunch of high notes. Regarding the multiplayer, I think there's some adjustments that need to be made. What did you think?
I think that they should have released co-op with campaign. The whole reason for Halo being Halo is that campaign, that fight.
Think if people released, let's think of some other products. Think of if people released, well, we're in music. Think if we advertised a full album and we only released half of it.
No. That's unsatisfactory.
I don't think fans will burn us at the stake, but I think we're setting people up for disappointment. And I think it's not completely honest. Think if we released firearms or vehicles only half the product or half the features or half the safety features, or there was chunks or pieces of the features missing from those products.
It's unsuspecting. It's very unsuspecting.
It's unpredictable, and in some situations, some might say that it's exploiting. It's exploiting the digital industry, and it's exploit like Hollywood music. It's exploiting the fact that because music or video games are digital, that they can be easily stolen.
So that's why you have the ski mask on today, because you feel like that 343 didn't come fully with their campaign drop, and that we were robbed, basically.
Yes, and honestly, like, I love the game, but I'm just being I'm just having fun. I love the game. I think there'll be improvements on it. I'm gonna wait for co-op. The truth is, I don't really have too much bad to say about Halo Infinite. I'm really pulling this out and being, high temperature with it. If I had to measure this game, I think it's one of the best games that's actually ever, upon launch, really deliver as far as the technical and the mechanical feat. I hate the green gun.
I don't dislike the green gun so much.
To me,
like you said, the legendary weapon.
If y'all don't know what the green gun is the plasma pistol. Here in ICG, we call it the green gun.
The green gun.
And so the green gun, to me,
it's a very important weapon.
Is, I don't know, like I feel like it's so iconic. It doesn't do much on its own when you shoot it. Shot for shot, but when you charge the weapon, it does the one thing everybody expects it to do. It drops shields and it stops vehicles.
Yes.
The fact that it doesn't do one of those things is a major letdown. It's strange, because through every game, that's been a characteristic of the green gun. We've seen them change and alter and do things with other guns, but something that was so consistent and something that was so iconic, throughout the Halo series. I think it's really weird that they would change the behavior and make that gun unpredictable. I think that's just a loss.
They took the EMP part from it.
I think that's a loss. I think that some major guns that people came to love, I think they need to reintroduce at some point.
Yes.
Maybe even power-ups or equipment. This is going to be debatable. I'm not saying necessarily they need to bring back med packs and armor lock, but like, you know what I mean? I think that I think that they should continue to expand on the technology.
Yeah, reopen up the sandbox, bring the sandbox fully.
Consider it, at least, if anything else. And I think some of the audio's off.
You said you didn't like the Needler before, right?
I did. The Needler sounds. The Needler sounds
that was
like
in a flight.
They cut a lot of 1-2K frequency out of it.
Yeah,
and there's no glass and shattery sound that I was expecting. But those are small cosmetics I feel like that they could improve on.
Yes.
All in all, I'd like to see. The DMR,
Yeah, I would like to see the DMR also.
And I don't feel I really like the battle rifle in Halo Infinite. However, I do not think that it is the battle rifle that people want. I could be wrong about that. Put it in the comments.
Let's see in the comments, guys. What battle rifle would you like to see in Halo Infinite in the sandbox revealing itself?
Right. What's your favorite battle rifle?
Yes.
Is it Halo CE? Is it? I mean, what's the way you like the BR to bounce? For real, that'd be a cool poll for everybody. Other than that, I'm not gonna play the campaign. I'm one of those people that side. I'm gonna wait till the option of co-op is there.
I am too.
One major feature that I feel that we've been robbed of upon release of the campaign is something as simple and traditional as. And not limited to expected traditional multiplayer playlists.
Yes.
Like SWAT, like, I don't know, 5v5 CTF has always been a thing until Halo 5.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Even maybe King of the Hill or with variants and
not just Slayer.
Right. Because that's one thing in Halo that is a major feature and major attraction, I think, for people is the fact that you have custom games, the fact that you have a firefight, the fact that you have all these different ways to play the game, and them not coming out swinging on that.
They should have been all over that.
What do you think? Real disappointment.
What do you think about Forge not being released with the campaign?
There you go again. So we're talking about major parts of this game
not being existent
that weren't released upon the date of the launch, and I think that's the only thing I would take away. I think it's a great beginning to the hopeful future of a series, a legacy series that was kind of hurting. Halo was having a tough way of introducing itself to new fans.
Yes,
you know what I mean, and that's not to say that Halo was just, on a cosmetic level is just catered to Fortnite people. I think that even people our age can learn to enjoy some of the cosmetic aspects. Here's another really positive note. I know I was talking a lot, but a really positive note for the game is the fan feedback. Like the fact that they are allowing some communication and some adjustments to be made along with the fans is something you don't see big corporations or companies do. Bands don't do it. Ice cream companies don't do it. 343 is showing that they're still listening to their fan base and they want to peer review and they want to peer review their products
and they're listening. They're really listening to the fans.
So I think that's really good. And last but not least, I think it's a final blow to making a mistake when you release something like this is there's not a mission select.
Ooh, what?
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
You see, and that's why I do my work here at Real Life Callout.
What?
See, y'all think y'all just think I go on the internet and go do no. This is a real life experience.
That was the main thing about Halo. You go back to that mission and play that mission and do it on Legendary and do it on.
To me, that is you can't have an open world scenario and not be able to go
back and play those scenarios.
Think about the guy that gets off of work, or another person that's had a tough week, and you finally get home, you kick on your slippers, you're ready to go into some other level of the dimension.
Yeah.
and you just want to play that cool scene where you jump in the warthog and you fly down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're anticipating a certain feeling or a moment or memory that you want to recreate from the game, because that's where you're living in reality. That's that's a way you want to feel. Yeah. And like I said, the best parts of Halo to me are these interactive custom scenarios.
Yes,
you know, the fact that you could, one huge part was about jumping in a firefight and being able to, you know, manipulate the AI and the bots to act a certain way, and to, you know, to be aggressive, you know, skulls, and to throw more grenades. And naturally you could choose maps, and you could choose the behavior of the maps, and you know, you could actually change the gravity and the environment of those maps, and that goes along with what you said before. I think when you put Halo together and you zoom out, you have this awesome customizable experience. At its optimization, there's something for everybody.
Yes.
And
even for the new gamers.
That's where I'm getting at. I think Halo really has the opportunity to bridge the gap between, you know, middle-aged gamers and people that want, you know, experiencing the game for the first time. I think you're seeing a piece of art that has an opportunity to bridge those gaps, and them not having the traditional, predictable
pathway.
The pathway to do that and to connect with your friends is limited on launch. There needs to be a mission select. I don't even know what to say about that. It's a video game and you can't select. I mean, you could do that in Contra.
Yeah, you can do that in Contra. You literally could do that.
Don't play with me.
That was a staple of Halo, being able to go access those favorite missions that you have fun with, and the missions to play with friends. If people, you get ahead of people in the game, you want to go back and experience that memory with them. Like, yo, it was like this, and the intel is right here. Like, that's the best part I liked about it. Being able to go back and relate and have fun on that level. It's unfortunate. I didn't know that, bro. I am really, I'm really shocked about that. That's crazy. I'm really shocked about that.
Well, I mean, that's why I have the ski mask on. So y'all thought it was ridiculous until I laid it out. If anybody started in the beginning now, and I said, that's why I said before, think if they released a half a baby seat.
Yeah. Oof.
Hey, you're gonna put your kid. You know what I mean? I know I'm being dramatic. Relax.
But it's
come
true,
on, man.
Though.
Everybody, come on.
It's
think
true, though.
You know what I'm saying? You go to a bank, right? And you go to a bank. It's mad when you lose half your money. See, when you look at it that way, you go, oh man, that's crazy. If I offered you half a bag of pretzels, you tell me to go f myself. Yo, f you too. With your pretzels. Nah, I'm excited for the next chapter of Halo.
Me too. I am too.
I'm really pumped up about our gaming community.
Yes.
Immaculate Connection Gaming. We really came out, man, so heavy.
Yes.
The lobbies have been bigger than ever.
I had to wait in line just to get in, bro. I was waiting outside the club like, hey.
He's the vice president of ICG. And he had to wait to get in and play in the BTB lobby.
My ID and everything. I didn't know what was going on.
And that's what I mean. Like, to see people re-energized and playing this game. Again, we've reunited with old friends.
Yes.
We've made new friends.
A lot of new friends too.
And we've kept really good friends, and we've got rid of some ones that we didn't need.
Yeah.
ICG is strong as it ever been. It's an amazing feeling to watch human beings zoom out again. And when they consider ICG, when they get home and they ask themselves who do they want to play with, they double click on ICG, bro.
Yep, they go right to
Immaculate. You know what I mean? And I want to
Connection.
thank everybody in Immaculate Connection for continuing to make this a really fun community. You guys take it serious. I mean,
they do.
You guys have
They
cleaned
really do.
up. I mean, since we got rid of a few bad apples, it's really cleaned up. The language has, the streaming has. Our streams are a lot more fun. I just want to thank all y'all for making it a positive place again. I really appreciate that.
Big ups to everybody in ICG,
Seriously.
man. Thank y'all so much.
I'm so glad Wise Pro's back. You know what I mean? I love hearing he's got such a great voice. Everybody, I mean, to be a great gamer isn't just about shooting people in the video game.
No, it's not.
I want to talk about that for a second. Like, to be in ICG, it's a special thing. It's not just about having skills in a video game or knowing about Halo. It's about having the ability to work well with other human beings. And it's having the ability to adjust and make plans and make commitments with other people. Granted, it's like a video game. It's not like a big commitment. But I'm committing to grab the sniper rifle and be at this place. That is a representation of definitive, predictable power.
Yes.
When you can lobby up with 12 people and the machine is all rolling and the boat is all rowing in the same direction, and you can step out and you can see the magic of that. It's just like being in a band and everybody's playing a note and the music all comes together. You know what I mean? It winds up being a beautiful thing. And like that's what ICG is about. That's what Sepsis is about. That's what YHL is about.
Yes,
that's
sir.
what our family. That's our brand. That's our golden seal. As y'all know, we're community people. So we specialize in trying to come up with creative ideas to enhance music and enhance gaming. You know what I mean? And enhance our motivations together.
Yes.
So it's about being part of the bigger picture.
Being creative, being around people.
This lineup, this ICG is really, it's the ICG we really always wanted.
For the gamers, by the gamers.
Yeah.
That's what we really wanted. That's what we wanted.
For the sake of the video game, man, and for the sake of building a quality experience. There's already enough people online that can point out the miserable features of the day.
Yeah, always.
There's enough people. I mean, being on the internet now has kind of just become, a place where people dump their bad news.
Yeah, and the issue.
You know what I mean? And they dump whatever imaginations they can, whatever they're feeling at that moment to satisfy. And we've all done it, but we all kind of just release, right? But just like when you release pollution in the physical world,
yes,
there's a spiritual and mental pollution that we're all responsible for.
Definitely.
There's a digital footprint. When you say to somebody, when you say to your neighbor, F you, or I don't like this, or when you get to arguing with your friends and your people in your neighborhood online, that can affect you in real life. And we all have a responsibility to that. We're just living in a time right now that's really sensitive, where intellectual people are trying like mad to encourage people to find a healthy balance in life and what they do, spending time on the internet and with other people.
Having a positive mental attitude.
Absolutely.
And that's the one big blessing about being here and having that, because you control your mental state and you can bless people with it.
Your responsibility is a power. Your commitments, your commitments are what makes you valuable. And and I think it's easy to slide away from that in a world when the camera's always on yourself. When the internet has as a collective encourages people to celebrate themselves
a lot
sometimes, and that can become unhealthy for some people.
I agree.
It's not like the internet comes with a waiver, and there's certain places where folks that have mental health shouldn't spend time, like sex offenders. They obviously are going through a very different aggressive mental feature.
Definitely. That
sets them apart, from other people.
Definitely.
So in many cases they're not allowed to partake and participate on the features of the internet because of the present danger that could have. You see what I'm saying? So
no, definitely, I do.
So what I'm saying is that just the same is not every 8-year-old is prepared or ready for the world of GTA.
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Not every 12-year-old is ready for, fourth grade or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, not every person is sitting in the same intellectual texture. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's not like
agree.
we're all built on that. We all and there's multiple layers of why those reasons could be, and you could spend eternity trying to uncover that.
Yeah.
But I think to draw a straight line, not everybody's meant to be a star.
Nope.
Not everybody's meant to be a warrior. Not everybody's meant to be a journalist.
Nope.
Not everybody's meant to be a model. Not everybody's meant to be a weightlifter. Not everybody's meant to be the best at Halo. Not every, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And individualism is definitely something we should celebrate. We're kind of living in a time right now where you can identify with a cucumber if you want to. You know what I mean? If I want to identify with a cucumber, you know what I mean, and you say that I'm not a cucumber, you know what I mean?
Then wrong.
Right, you're lowering the quality of my life as a kumquat or a gourd or a pumpkin.
A kumquat? That's
a kumquat. You can identify. What I'm saying is you can identify with anything you want now, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But there are consequences to identifying with a kumquat.
It is. It is.
It's not about good. It's not about bad. It's not about right. It's not about wrong. It's about choice.
Definitely.
It's about choice. There was a time in my life, bro, that was very difficult for me, and I had realized, that a lot of the choices that I had made accumulated, into consequences. In circumstances for me that became obstacles and challenges.
Definitely.
With the way that I think and the way that I operate. You've known me for years and years and years. You can understand it. You know what I mean? I challenge myself
Constantly.
lot instead of challenging other people. And I think far too often when it comes to the internet, we're encouraged to argue about sticks and branches, and we're encouraged to challenge each other in every post and every thought, and whether it be sports or martial arts or who band likes this band, or is the BR good, or is this bad, or we've all done it one time where we've engaged in behavior on the internet that we might not have engaged
in real life. That's
and that's a real life call out. That goes down to what you do when your wife's not looking. That goes when your friends ain't looking. What you do in your privacy. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about all this time that we spend, as individuals, being encouraged to identify only with what we feel like identifying with, and the consequences of that comes from you being at the center of the universe, you being at the center of your selfie stick, and everybody looking at you, and you wanting to be the star, and you wanting to be the president, you wanting to have the agenda, and you and you can't look at you without a filter, and you can't look at you without without some augmented reality on your head. You having a hard time looking at yourself in reality. And that's the attractive part about being on the internet, is the fact that people can role play.
Yep.
And the fact that people will say things and behave in ways that they wouldn't if they were at the grocery store. They will say things that they wouldn't say in front of their mother. They would say things, you know what I'm saying, to people they wouldn't otherwise have a conversation with. You're taking one guy who would never stop and talk to another guy. You know what I'm saying? These two are now sharing, opinions about, the environment and presidencies and pregnancies, but the thing is like
everything under the sun.
We're in this woke time, and in order to get woke, people don't believe in their parents anymore.
Agree.
Because because their parents gave them iPads. But the thing is like we didn't get woke by not writing on walls and tablets. We didn't get woke without discovering hunting and gathering, and you know what I mean. We didn't get woke without making hieroglyphs, and you know what I mean. We didn't get woke without hunting and eating and having protein in our diets. We didn't get woke without the technology of fire and electricity. We didn't get woke without being scientific, bro.
I agree.
And without doing something and then stepping back and measuring it.
I agree.
Doing things over and over and over again and getting the same results. This is what science is, my friend.
Repetition.
So it's like having that observable measuring stick is how we got so woke in the first place. It's how the microphones got here, the electricity, and that's how the internet got here. So it's hard to digest how you can learn from the internet, without learning from people, without sharing from people, because we wouldn't have the technology without the science to back it up.
Yep. And someone had to learn that from somebody else.
So the thing is now something as scientific as the internet is only okay when that individual sees it as being valuable to them. That post at that minute, they're going to say what they're going to say, or that response and that comment is very self-satisfying, self-fulfilling. But what I'm trying to explain is us as a creature, we spent all these years to be civilized and woke and advanced, and we shoot our mouths off all the time, about how humans had this big responsibility to take care of the earth and all this. We're kings and we're gods, and we all talk to each other. Yo, what up, God? What up, king? What up, queen? And we use all these languages, but these languages and these words that you're borrowing from came from traditions and histories and generations of people who perfected each quality and pronunciation. They perfected the nuances. They perfected the curve on the S. They perfected the angles on a number 4. So you would be able to communicate with other people and bridge the gaps between the memories and lessons and moments in your life.
They were the internet before the internet.
You see what I'm saying? Like people fucking chiseled out of stones, and they talked with their hands, and people fought and died to build bridges and to you know what I mean? And so it's like to go over a bridge. Every time you go over a big ass bridge, you got to remember, wow, there's people that really
risk their lives
for me to be able to cross the bridge and go get a ham sandwich. And I think this celebration of individualism and being woke and identifying with a pretzel and all this other shit. I think a certain amount of that is okay, because I think it's important to be unique. I think it's important to have an identity. I'm a musician, so being able to, we're on a podcast, being able to express yourself is absolutely a valuable and important frequency. Definitely. That I think we could all relate to. But just the same as some people, it's hard to trust a sex offender on the internet, or it's hard to trust somebody with dementia that has a firearm. I think that when we don't have those same regulations on the internet. No. So when people are triggered or people are charged, they're liable to say, do, or be encouraged to act in ways that manifest itself in real life. I mean, most of the murderers I ever talked to, it didn't start that way. And I've talked to a lot of murderers.
They're real people.
It didn't start that way. It starts off as a fantasy, or it starts off as you're writing it down, or you're drawing pictures of it, and it advances. It becomes more real over time. And I think you're seeing examples of that, in society. I think you definitely, now more than ever, if you're a young parent, to be very limited on how much computer time and iPad time that they're spending instead of people time. And I'm going to leave you with this one thought regarding that. You as an individual, okay, if you look back in the history of your chromosomes and you look at the heritage that it took to shape you metaphysically, biologically, scientifically, if you go back and then you start thinking about all the ideologies you believe in, your politics, your races and your skin colors, your favorite music, your favorite color, your favorite, you go back to that, all of that, all your traditions and your Christmases and your rituals and your, you know what I mean, what time you get, whatever it is. when you'll see that those are a combination of things that other people introduced you to.
Yes.
If you go back, in order for your protein, water-based physical mass to be here, I think we're made out of like 60% water or something like that.
Yes.
But in order for you to accumulate here and be moving at a speed to be quote unquote what we define as real, it took your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-parents to build you, to make you, to mold you, to sculpt you throughout time. Okay,
to get here,
right? So you can go do the math, but it's the metrics are close to, it takes more than 4,000 people to make a single person. I just want y'all to, and you can go Google and have fun with that on your own time. I don't care if you don't
That's deep.
if you don't have the courage to go look, just turn the channel off. You know what I mean? So, because it's gonna break your heart.
Yeah.
Because for the last few years, young and old, this isn't just millennials or Zers or boomers or all these other silly stuff that people come up with. It takes years for people to come up with these silly names that they have for each other. And then years later, everyone wants to get rid of them again.
Yep.
Like the N-word. So the internet is affecting the young people and the old people and all different shapes and colors of people. Everything that we do affects everything that we do.
Yeah. Everything.
That's the panoramic picture, y'all. As if you zoom out fully, you'll understand that, we have been told who we are. Somebody told you that the town that you live in is that town. When I was born, my name wasn't William. A lot of people didn't know that about me. So when I was born, my name was a different name. And my mother changed my name to William. And then they wrote it down on a piece of paper. And everybody looked around the room. And they agreed that they were going to tell me later on that my name was William. And then I agreed with it.
And it makes it real to you.
And then now it's real. And now everybody calls me William.
Yeah. It's real to you. Yep.
So what does that mean, though? What is the bigger lesson by that? The bigger lesson by that is, once again, somebody told me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we accept what we're told when it fits in our minds.
Agreed.
So, you know what I mean? That's not a bad thing or a good thing. It just happens to be.
No, it is what it is.
That Pete, right? That if you're comfortable living in Vermont, then that's probably where you live. You know what I mean? If
that's
you're comfortable,
where you live at.
Right? That's what I'm saying. If you're comfortable, people watch the news programs. They're most comfortable.
Yeah.
People choose the sports teams that they want, win, lose, or draw, that they feel comfortable supporting. It's not that they're good. It's not that they're right. It's not that they're wrong. People choose the politician that they like.
Yeah. Yep.
People don't choose people for being the best qualified person for the job. You choose the person you think is safe.
Yep. And that you like. Yep. Definitely. That you feel agreeable to yourself.
But this gets confusing in a time when everyone's in front of that selfie stick.
Yep.
Because more than ever, we have been celebrating the sense of self and how valuable your personal identity is. But
celebrating each other.
But let me explain that if it takes 4,000 people to make you, and you are everything that somebody else told you are, including the name and the town that you live in. You didn't make up the name of that town.
No.
You didn't make the library or put the books in there.
Not one bit.
You didn't make.
Not one bit.
You don't make the wars. You don't make the guns. You don't make the crack. You don't make. But we fight over it as neighbors.
Yeah, all the time.
But as my neighbor, you don't do that. You're not responsible
for that.
Right. But we're debating it on that, and we're going about that on the internet, and we're allowing that to divide each other, neighbor by neighbor, town by town, house by house, color by color, shape by shape.
You have you have no involvement with it at all. Like
we don't have no right. Seriously, whether if Jesus walked on water, which he may have or may not have, we still didn't observe it. So I'm not saying whether it did happen or that it didn't happen. I'm just saying I wasn't there.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying I wasn't there. People tend to grasp to the news that best fits the way they feel.
Most definitely.
And that's not to say it's good, or that's not to say that it's bad. I think the moral of the story here is choice.
Yes.
And it's the choice to have your personal identity and individualism. Is that more valuable than the role you play in your children's life, in your family's life, in your neighbor's life, in your neighborhood's life, on your street, in your community? Is you being you more important than you being a part of the bigger picture?
I agree.
I tend to believe that there's more fulfillment in looking at pictures of other people.
There's way more fulfillment out there, man. If you ain't got a definitive purpose, there's no reason for you to be in this plane. There's no reason for you to be in this plane. You got to have more than just that. You have to, bro. You're absolutely right. You have to.
I think that we are forgetting life, generational, species tradition.
Yes.
And we saw it. The people in the pyramids did it. They wrote on walls. People who made the ABCs made the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s and all that. And there was a lot of time and effort to build the bridges. And I think we've forgotten that it's taken other people to build the internet, to give you a platform, to give you this big voice, to give you the selfie stick, put the camera in front of you. Did it ever occur to you that they have, that people who make products, when people go, oh, who's they, right? I'm not talking about conspiracy theories and tooth fairies.
No.
When I say they, I mean specifically, people who buy and sell. What I mean is shareholders and corporations and people, let me make it clear, people who make products. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about economics.
Buying and selling.
Because that's the language of our culture today. It's not woke. It's not English. It's not scientific. It's economics. And if you know economics, it's easy to see.
Yes.
But if you're trapped in religion, you can't see it. If you're trapped in politics, you can't see it. If you're trapped in, big pharma and you're, you know what I'm saying? If you're trapped in the ghetto, if you're trapped, you know what I'm saying? If you got too much money, you don't get it. If you don't got enough money, you don't get it.
Period.
But if you've ever taken a small class in marketing or economics and you paid attention, you'd be able to zoom out and see what I'm talking about.
To the fullest.
Down to Christmas trees and the stars you put on them and everything else that's in your cupboard and all the product placement that you see throughout the day. That our first language is economics. And that's why it's so easy to destroy English on the internet and have all these new silly words that separate us.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying? So going back to tradition, it took many people to make the pyramids. It took many people to make our great language. It took many people to make the streets and the neighborhoods that you were born into. It took many people to build the stories and write the favorite books and novels and religions that y'all love. It took many people to make Christianity. It took many people, to make, the Muslim faith. It took many people to carry forth and celebrate the Jewish faith. Shout out to all my religious people and my spiritual people out there. I love all of y'all. But there was people that came before y'all that lived and fought and died and you know what I'm saying, and contributed to that.
For that exact thing.
And it's tough for me to be like, okay, y'all, we're heading into this new woke, playing field where we've forgotten simply that somebody built the bridge that you're walking on. you know, somebody had to put all the data in the internet for you to read that article and feel so fucking woke to begin with. Somebody pays. We own a website.
Yeah.
If you come and sign my guest book, I'm paying money for you to come over there to sign a guest book. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It is a product. And what I'm trying to get y'all hip to is that y'all ever think for 1 minute that with all the cell phones and all the internets and all the applications, that product makers have now figured out how to turn your desire to be your own king. They turned your desire, and they turned your selfishness, and they turned your laziness, and they turned your desire into having comfort and leisure. They turned that desire, that little wannabe role play bullshit y'all doing at home with your filter faces and your around bullshit, saying things to people in the comments that you wouldn't say to somebody at the grocery store. They got you acting out of pocket in a certain way. They got you looking at yourself differently. They got you talking differently. And they're selling it to you at the same time. They tell you to put advertisements on you. They got you convinced that you're a rapper, that you're an actress, that you're all these people. Did it ever occur to you that they're selling you that? They're telling you you're going to be a big dream. You're going to be a big star. Everyone's got you have a voice here. And you know what I'm saying? They, you know, when they first started to advertise the internet, we've talked about this before on the program.
Yes, we did.
They advertised the internet as a place that was going to be free thinking. It was going to be the free world. It was going to be, you know, remember the .com era when everybody could have a company and everybody, it was going to decentralize. They did plan on that. It was going to be a big library where there was going to be all this free information until they figured out that people don't like learning.
Yeah.
People don't like knowing the truth. People don't like researching and finding out that their great grandmother was wrong.
Definitely.
That's what the problem is. So you have people that live in fear of the truth. So it's not like they jump on the internet and go, I'm going to search for my fears. That's not what happens. People don't want to know, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be disappointed by, you know what I'm saying, finding out or discovering the way that they've been living is self-destructive. People don't want to find out on the internet, damn, I have to challenge myself more than I challenge other people in life. Wow. I'm not as good at the guitar as I thought I was. Wow. I could barely look at myself. So let me change the color of my skin and make my hair different and pretend to be a different person. And now we're living in a time now when you can be and celebrate being anything you want to be other than what you were born with. If you were born with it and you celebrate it, you're getting too much clout. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the thing is like, it's a matter of quality of life, my good brother. And what I'm saying to you is, did it ever occur to you that there's a product out there that has, you know, in momentum, just like pollution? Yeah. In momentum, just like we're living in a petroleum society. Yes. Just like in momentum, we have a problem with the grid and gun violence. That's why, you know what I'm saying, racing. That's why we have these problems. It's because it's a momentum.
Continuous.
Right. The waves come in and they go out, and they come in and they crash, and they come in and go out, and the tide gets high and the tide gets low.
The momentum continues.
Now it's just pulsing. You know what I'm saying? Momentum that as I said, we are all connected to, and we all have responsibility to.
No, we definitely do.
So it's like, you know, what part can we play, and what can we? You would talk about purpose, and you would talk about what proactive cognitive part could we really play as human beings. And I think that it's remembering, bro.
Yeah, remember where you came from.
I think that's it. I think that's remembering the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. That's remembering that the platform that you want to be so woke on, somebody else had to die to build for you.
Yep, and had to create it.
And there was a scientific process in order to get there. So you can't throw out metrics and math. You can't throw out the tradition of spirituality. You can't throw out all the things that it took that has taken for us to get here. They are things that we have to talk about and consider. Tradition. And I think when you remember that us as a creature, traditionally speaking, it's taken all of us to do any of this. It takes neighborhoods and communities to build a church. It takes neighborhoods and communities to have a band. It takes neighborhoods and communities to be fans of each other.
And there's nothing wrong with being a fan.
Being a fan is one of the most powerful things you can do in life because it's celebrating the honest and true tried tradition of the reason why we're here in the first place, bro.
Mm-hmm. For each other.
We're here for each other.
We're here for each other.
And I don't just mean human beings. I mean all the creatures on the world, all the biological organisms on the world are here for each other. And this may be a little tough for some of y'all. So if, you know what I'm saying, if you ain't got the courage to hear what I say, this is a good time to turn the TV off. Down to the nanoparticle, my brother. Mm-hmm. Down to the measurable electrons, protons, and calciums, mm-hmm. and all the different gases and molecules that make us up in the room right now. The very real us. The molecules is everything. An accumulation that thereof, and we have gone over that. How many people it took to make me and you. Yeah. But it also had taken the clouds, mm-hmm. and the grass and the trees, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's taken the neighborhood. It's taken mm-hmm. the school system. It's taken everybody together, you know, to have a great band. Or it's taken you and I to have a great friendship. Mm-hmm. There can't be no good friendships without you, bro.
No, I know. Definitely. Same thing to you, bro.
So it takes each other to be friends with each other and to agree. Mm-hmm. To mm-hmm. be friends with other and to have an understanding and a common accumulated respect that's built over momentum. Mm-hmm. That's called trust. Mm-hmm.
Working in harmony.
When you're looking at yourself all day, worshiping yourself, it's hard to have trust in other people.
Mm-hmm. There's no others around.
Right.
There's no others involved.
When you feel like, you know, you have to use your survival skills when you're posting and expressing online. When mm-hmm. you have those misfires, those fight and flight responses going off mm-hmm. when you're in the comment section because you've been triggered. When you want to attack your next door neighbor or you hate somebody's skin color, you're still trapped. But the thing is, we're not as woke as we might think. Mm-hmm. So that's why I tell people, let's not get rid of the hieroglyphics and the pyramids and all that. And let's not get rid of science. And let's not get rid of each other. Mm-hmm. Because those are the traditions that got us here. Mm-hmm. It's the language we're speaking is to not be exploited.
Agree.
You know, because we all need to be able to step back at some point and measure it in order to row in the same direction. We're all here for each other. And we were put here to take care of the trees and the birds and the bees but it's also here to take care of us.
Yes.
And we need to this role play that we're gods and king creatures and that we're some evolutionized, you know, biological entity. I think we need to remember, while that might be a possibility. I mean, maybe the aliens came here and we're all inseminated by fucking the Greys and we're all gonna grow tentacles out of our ears and shit. But let's just assume that hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? And we're still hanging out here. Yeah. So, you know, right now, I think it's important, instead of, you know, picking up the phone every day, celebrating the people that are in the room with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Then when you go to work, the people that are on the street with you, yes. and people that are in traffic with you. Mm-hmm. It's, you know what I mean? There's, you know, everything, the way we treat them and the way that we behave in response to the traffic in the morning has a lot to say, you know, about the way we think and feel about each other during the day.
Definitely.
And if I could just remind everybody in closing that parents, you know, have to raise children together as a team the same way the neighborhoods and communities do, whether you know what I'm saying, and single parents too, you know what I mean? Single Definitely. Parents, you know what I'm saying? That's what the neighborhoods and friendships and the people, you know, the close people in your life are there for. But you can only have that by continuing to communicate with each other and having the discussions and having the depth and, you know what I'm saying, the courage and wisdom to explore friendships. And sometimes having friendships that, you know, me and Barz would tell you, it's not always agreeing. Mm-hmm. No. And sometimes we can challenge each other, mm-hmm. but just make sure you're challenging yourself as an individual mm-hmm. more than you're challenging other people. Definitely. Because I believe wholeheartedly that all of us as an individual individual are only here for the greater whole.
Completely. I agree, bro. I agree. Speaking of technology and being a whole and being one, as you see the recent developments with the Tesla robot.
The what?
The Tesla robot from Elon Musk.
All right, this guy. Well, let me tell you something. This guy's the richest guy in the world, and he's having a problem, making solar panels.
Yeah.
Have you heard about? I mean, this guy can't make a f***ing solar panel to save his life.
He can. I guess one of the cars also had a malfunction too. One of the autopilot cars had a malfunction also.
Is it solar powered? That would explain it.
That would explain it, right? Tesla says, Elon Musk, the CEO, says it's building a friendly robot that will perform me-now tasks and won't fight back. Tesla CEO Elon Musk took the stage to tout the company's automation ambitions Thursday, days after investigators said they would look into the company's autopilot driver assistance system.
Didn't I just say something about leisure and luxury?
Yes.
So now people don't want to be people anymore? What the f*** is that?
People don't want to be people. Tesla has a history of making big promises, but it's his newest and one of just average size, about 5'8", 125 pounds, according to CEO.
Hold on a second. He almost the size of me. I might have to square up with this dude. I need anybody that makes me a robot, you got to make that like 4 foot something. I ain't having all that.
And self-professed techno king Elon Musk, Tesla says it plans to build a humanoid robot to perform basic tasks such as wrenching on cars and making grocery runs as part of the company's broader ambitions in automation.
And just like the internet, as soon as they make these robots, I'm telling you, the only thing people are going to do with the robots is argue and them. Mark my words, William Savant said it first. Just like then, when we first got the internet, we were all going to be woke and we were all going to learn everything and we were all going to go, oh, it's open source information and decentralized. Oh, dude, it's so woke. And what did we start doing? Looking at pics and the whole bit.
The whole bit.
So here we go. So that's the same thing we're going to do. The robots are going to come out. It's going to be digital pics and robot sex. That's the only thing we want to do is have sex with the robots. I said it here first.
And in automation, which include building its own computer chip, dubbed the D1, so it can build itself. It can build.
I just got done saying how they f***ed up Halo, and now we're going to make some robots that build themselves.
To power the networks for vehicles, it hopes to one day make it self-driving.
Bro, do you think there's going to be like human beings that
control robots with their
mind? I think they're going to be like human beings that encourage the robots to take leadership. And then they're going to worship and have sex with them. I don't know. Somebody's going to have sex with the robots. That's all I'm talking. I know it for a fact.
Man,
first person who robot, I'm out. You hear that, Johnny? The first person who a robot.
You want to see what these robots look like, bro?
No.
Have you seen them? I got some good news and some spotlight for the
All right,
second
well, now I'd want to leave.
But basically, Tesla previewed the robot concept as a presentation at the Fremont, California factory Thursday, calling it the Tesla bot and Optimus.
Optimus?
They called it Optimus. And said it would show a prototype next year as part of the presentation. So this year,
hope they're not anything like them solar panels.
A human dressed as a machine made robotic gestures and then danced on stage, perhaps demonstrating the range of motion.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Is this some metaverse? Or are you saying an actual biological person? What do we say anymore? What's the right thing to say?
I don't know, bro. This is what's the happening.
So a robot dressed up like a person? Is that that's a trans robot?
Demonstrating the range of motion that Tesla hopes the bot could achieve.
Holy crap.
Musk was quick to clarify that the dancer was not a real robot.
What?
This is what the robot has.
It's gonna somebody. What are they gonna do when all the robots decide to grow scary robot and they start f***ing everybody? What then?
I don't know. I'm not gonna have a robot. I'm good.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna opt the out of this right now.
I'm gonna be good.
Hey, I don't even do microtransactions. My Spartan is still the same as it was when I unboxed it.
He said humans need to be prepared for robots to perform menial tasks and ultimately work alongside them, if not phase them out of the workplace. Essentially, in the future, physical work will be a choice. If you want to do it, you can, but you won't need to do it. Elon
because
Musk
you're going to
says.
be paid to hang out in the metaverse.
In the metaverse. And these are the robots right here.
I'm telling you, we are going to a civilization where we're all right all the time. As in, you're going to be able to turn your life on every day as a product. It starts, and it's all geared to trying to satisfy all of your ideas about what reality really is.
Yes.
And meanwhile, we're going to have sex with robots. If you think for 1 minute that we're not going to have sex with robots, you're out of it. I know there's a couple of you people right now that can't wait to get by a robot. I know it. I see you. Crazy motherfucker.
Robot, again, will be 5'8". It can carry a capacity of 45 pounds. The weight of the robot is 125.
It seems to... Whoa. That seems like a perfect sexual partner.
It can deadlift 150 pounds. The arm extend lift is 10 pounds, and the speed of it is 5 miles per hour.
So it's going to you off at 5 miles per hour.
Oh, man.
This is crazy.
So that is the new Tesla robot presented by, of course, your friend, and everyone loves.
And I think the
Elon
robots
Musk.
are gonna like having sex with people. That's the problem.
The robots are gonna probably change. They're gonna change the way over time.
What if they build because they can build themselves? They can build like nano skin, and they could like. I gotta talk to XC about it.
In other news, besides that, a Tesla co-founder, New Focus, he's beginning to grow and build rock tunneling robots to protect the grid. And you spoke a little bit about the grid earlier. This is from Forbes magazine. Ian Wright, one of Tesla's 5 co-founders, is best known for developing the electronic cars and trucks over the past 2 decades. But these days, he's applying his engineering skills to new ways to harden the utility grid from climate change and fire threats as tech chief for Petra. The Silicon Valley startup aims to cut the cost of burying power lines in the toughest terrain with a robotic drill that bores through solid rock, and $30 million in new funding to begin commercial operation.
I don't want to live forever. That's all I know.
That's it's going to be different.
You know what I mean? When people tell me about, what the world is supposed to be, in the next 30 to 50 years, I'm fine with being a regular living and dying creature.
I am too. I'm happy
okay
being
with
an
it.
organism, bro. I'm very
I know when
happy.
everybody goes in the metaverse, I'm gonna hang out here for a while, y'all. Seriously, I don't know how much.
You're gonna be going through the Neo phase.
I've already made the decision in my mind. I know there's some people in my life, that are listening to me right now, and they can't wait to get in there and the rabbits and do all that other, and what I'm saying, and turn into all kinds of weird creatures and teddy bears. And I'm so boring.
Nah.
I don't want nothing to do with that. I got a bedtime.
Yeah, it's different. It's different over here.
But more power to y'all, man. I love y'all, and I want to make it perfectly clear that at the end of these difficult conversations, it's the conversation itself that is designed to be proactive, where we can share our ideas.
Definitely.
So I don't know if we're going to drill into rock and fix the grid right now, bro.
I don't think we will either, but they're trying. They're trying to do something. They're trying to do something with the technology that they have. They're trying to push forward with the technology. This is recent too. This is just came out December 9th. So after the Tesla robot introduction,
he's a busy man.
He's trying to do something a little bit different. So I can agree upon that. And bro, we got a lot of things going on with ICG and Halo Infinite right now. We're searching for
if y'all didn't know, ICG game nights are officially Wednesdays and Fridays. We say those at ICG game nights with the understanding that we like to stream it.
Yes.
So real life call outs on Twitch.
Yes, real life call outs on Twitch.
So y'all have to go follow if you're not watching this already. You got to go. You got to go follow us.
You got to go follow us right now. And also, it's Immaculate Connection Gaming on Facebook if you guys want to search us up. And bro, you remember when it was cool? Do you remember
when it was? Yeah, I remember when it was.
Things was cool.
I remember it was cool. First of all, dating. The idea of dating used to be the corniest thing in the world, but now
courting someone.
But now,
oh man,
now. You know what I mean? Like being in the room with another person is kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
And I don't just mean dating, like making friends. Like remember when it was cool to make friends?
Yeah, to be around someone and speak and having a conversation, be intelligent, have some fun. Sometimes it could be a little bit weird too. Have some fun.
Yeah, I remember when it was cool to try to seek out employment that was geared to your productive happiness.
Yes. Finding your lane, finding your niche.
Now you're a troll if you're doing something that you like to do now.
Yeah. What is that? What is that?
I also remember a time that it was cool to like things.
Yes.
Like if you go on the internet and if you like something, you support something now. If you're a fan of something, that's like a bad thing now.
Yes. Yeah, I guess
But me, I don't care what they all saying. Like I still like things. I still like y'all out there. This whole show has really been about, people celebrating people, and I think that's
about you guys.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story, man. We created ICG, we created the rock and roll bands and the rap music, and we created all that so we can have a friendship with people, man. It's not for people to to celebrate us. We're everyday people, and reminding people all the time that we're fans of the music and the games and the art before ourselves, man. And we're going to continue to put people first.
Always. Every single day. You guys take it easy. This is real life call outs, and run away from the bots. You guys have a great night.
This is Master Chief, Sierra 117, reporting from UNSC High Command. You're now tuned in to Immaculate Connection. Lock and load, and finish the fight. Chief out.
Real life call outs.